My name is Dave, and this is my question for Ask the Rabbi. If the world is 6,000 years old, how do we explain the fossil remains of dinosaurs that could be billions of years old?
Thanks a lot, Dave. That's a very good question. And in fact, you made the assumption that according to Judaism, the world is roughly 6,000 years old. And now the way we know that is by calculating the age of Adam. Assuming Adam is from day one of the world, you calculate how old he was, and then when he died, and then Noah, and then Abraham, etc. You do the mathematics. From Adam, we're at year 5,775. Thus, if the world is only 5,775 years old, what do you do with fossilized remains that would seem to be from species that are extinct for 65 million years or whatnot? So there's two traditional responses to this problem. Response number one is that your assumption is based upon a flawed premise. Your assumption is that the world is only roughly 6,000 years old. That's not what it says. The Torah says that since Adam, we have 5,775 years. That presupposes that that's when the world began. In fact, if you look at Genesis, we have 6 days of lots of furious activity before Adam even shows up. And in fact, the celestial being that we call the sun, which organizes our daily schedule, doesn't show up until day 4. So as to the status of those 6 days, your question is only valid if those 6 days are 6 regular, normal days like we have 24 hours. And in fact, if you look at the Jewish sources, we find a lot of things happen during those 6 days. In fact, just day 6, Adam was created, he married Eve, they had babies all in a couple of hours. Clearly, these are days that more stuff can happen than traditional days that we have today, 24 hours. So the first traditional Jewish response to this problem is that indeed, who knows, perhaps the world is really, 10 billion years old, or 10 million years old, or 500 trillion years old, who knows, because our clock only starts ticking from Adam. And in fact, there is this, in Jewish scholarship, they look at Adam in the Genesis story, there's Adam and there's Ha-Adam, man and the man, man's created twice, thus opening up the door for some Homo sapiens, humanoids, that were humans to some degree, but not quite like Adam. Maybe they had the body, not the soul, whatever. That's a big discussion in Jewish scholarship. Either way, so the first response to the question is that indeed, since Adam, we only have 6,000 years, but from before Adam, who knows what it was, and maybe that's when all the dinosaurs were, etc., etc. That's option number one. Option number two is where we question the legitimacy of the aging techniques used by science. How so? The argument is not that science they're all corrupt and they have no idea how to date or how to work backwards to date fossils like you asked. Rather, several cataclysmatic events that happened, for example, the deluge, the Marbin story of Noah, that greatly accelerated the aging of the fossils. We know the Torah tells us that the animals that interbred didn't survive the Marbin, didn't survive the deluge. Thus, the argument goes that the chaos and the trauma that was wreaked upon the earth during that chaotic year where Noah and his family were in the ark, that artificially aged the fossils. And that would also explain, according to this theory, that would also explain why you would find maybe deep sea fossils in the middle of a landmass, which science would try to use that to explain prehistoric ice ages, and where glaciers were going in every part of the world, including tropical Africa. When perhaps if the turmoil and the upheaval that was caused to the world from the deluge, from the Marbin, that caused all those fossils to move around and shift in such a way which would make us believe that something else was there, and in fact you just follow the Bible story and that's all that happened. So this argument would believe that perhaps these dinosaurs are the Tanidim Agdolim that referenced in the beginning of Genesis, the ones that disappeared during the times of the flood. Either way, Dave, it's a fantastic question, one that there's a lot of scholarship written about it, and I appreciate the question. I hope you guys will come with more questions on this and other topics. Thank you all for listening, and please send us an email, asktherabbi@torchweb.org, if you would like to have your question broadcast to humanity.